So I'm driving around in the country near Manyberries, Alberta yesterday, and I see a hawk sitting in the middle of the road. It's a ferruginous hawk, and I'm just thinking this is unusual because typically you'll see them sitting on fence posts and they'll see you coming and they're pretty skittish, they'll fly off. So this is kind of unusual. Why is it sitting in the middle of the road, not flying away? Pull up and it's still just kind of sitting there staring at me. So I decide this is probably an injured bird. I should probably try to see what I can do to help. And as I kind of pull over, I approach the bird. It starts to try to hop away from me, but it's not getting anywhere very quickly. So I'm thinking, okay, this thing's definitely injured. And I went to pick it up. I picked it up without any difficulty at all. Brought it back into my vehicle, and it kind of attacked me. Its talons, it grabbed my other hand, and its talon got stuck in my finger. Actually, put a decent hole in my finger, and it was like a sharp cat claw, but much bigger and really strong grip, right? So it's pretty frightening. I decided to put it on the floor of the passenger side there, thinking okay, what am I going to do? I found out that I should probably take it to the Coaldale Birds of Prey Center, and so I decided to wrap it in a blanket and drive off. And as I started driving off, this bird jumps up off the floor. It was kind of timid or placid and just kind of docile, and it looked like it was really sleepy. So I'm thinking, this is gonna be fine. But it jumped up and tried to fly out the closed window on the passenger side, and then it came across to me and started trying to go out my window. And of course, I can't open the window or open the door on my left side because it's kind of sitting on my lap, and it's really chaotic. This is a big bird of prey, flapping around in the front seat. You can imagine how chaotic that would be. And I was a little bit worried now. I'm this thing's already attacked me once. What might happen now? Total noob to all this, right? I've never come across an injured bird of prey or anything. I don't have gloves for handling it, an animal carrier or anything like that. Just winging it, right? And so I decided, I pulled over, I stopped, and I managed to get the door open, and I pushed the bird out off my lap, and it just kind of jumped out on the road again and just sat there. And I'm thinking, what is with this bird? Another bird circling overhead, kind of crying out. And so it's you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave this bird, let nature run its course. It's not safe for me to drive with this happening in the vehicle. The bird obviously does not want to be in there. And so I decided to leave it there, and I was thinking the rest of the day, I'm what was with that? I'm sad to think the bird might die on the side of the road. And so I contacted my buddy last night, biologist, an expert in these sorts of things. And it turns out the bird was a fledgling. I thought it was an adult bird, a full adult bird, but it turns out it's a young bird, and that's why it can't fly very well. And that was mom circling around overhead. So that brought me, a great encouragement, thinking, okay, this bird's probably being looked after by its mother again. Apparently they can end up in some weird places when they're fledglings like that. So, lesson learned. I've also learned that, I was worried there, okay, if I touched a bird, is its mother going to abandon it? But apparently that's a myth for birds, at least, because they don't have that good a sense of smell. So, yeah, I guess, the bird is not hurt. It's just young and dumb, and hopefully mom's looking after it out there. So I took that as good news.